Great. Well, welcome. We are, together Belle and I run a business called Soulful Tribes, and one of our main offerings is running aromatic workshops and retreats. So you could officially say we're obsessed with Young Living essential oils. We've been using them for years now, so the obsession hasn't gone away by any stretch of the imagination. And the reason why we wanted to do and focus on the premium starter kit that Young Living has brought out is that it's a new and improved version of the one that they used to have with some new oils in it. And really, it's honestly the most economical and best value when you're starting your oily journey, as we like to call it, which is why we thought there's lots of benefit in sharing our tips and tricks and our life hacks about all these magnificent oils, which really have heaps of different uses, emotional, physical, spiritual. They cross every gamut as such. So we'll go through all of the oils today. We'll tell you a little bit about Young Living because we think it's important that if you're going to buy the oils, if you don't already, you know who the company is that you're dealing with. That will only take a few minutes, and then we will go through every oil, show you what's in the kit, and then just give you some other tips and tricks before we take Q&A. All right, so Young Living. Young Living was actually established all the way back in 1994. So it's almost at 25 years. It was started by Gary Young, who pretty much spent most of his life really in tune with nature. And so then when he got older, he traveled the world and he learned about how to distill and harvest and plant plants for essential oils from the experts. So really for Gary, from the very beginning, as being around for so long, he wasn't making a lot of money at the start, and for him, it was always purpose over profit. And he started Young Living at a time when there was no such thing. So he was a real pioneer back in the day, and he has been for the many decades that follow, because there's always something being invented, created, pushed, and then all in tune with the environment and the world and whatever it is that I guess humanity is dealing with at the time. He's really an inspiring kind of guy. Essential oils, though, they're not new to the world. They've been used for thousands of years, right? In heaps of
the Bible. There's lots of mentions throughout the Bible of frankincense and myrrh especially, and also in the ancient pyramids, they got robbed and the gold got left and the frankincense got actually stolen. So frankincense is more valuable back in the day than gold was. So that says a lot.
It says a lot. There's lots of ways to distill oils. There's cold pressing, steam distillation, and the way you distill an essential oil means it's thousands of times more powerful than the botanicals that it actually comes from. So the frequency, which we'll talk about in a moment, is vastly higher than just maybe smelling a lavender plant, for example, as going to the fields and thinking that's a lovely smell. The power of a therapeutic grade essential oil is a lot higher. Young Living. So as far as this Young Living is concerned and what tends to set it apart is a few things. And one of them is something called the seed to seal process, which stands for sourcing, science, and standards. Now, altogether, those three things stretch across the gamut of how we source our plants, where we source them from. So we own many of our own farms. And when we don't, we partner with farms around the world. There's a couple in Australia. And we choose those farms depending on how they particularly treat their environment, their workers, their sustainability charter. So there's a lot of thought that goes into the sourcing. Where we have our farms around the world, they've been chosen for particular reasons. Sometimes it's where the wind blows. It's sometimes the latitude of where it is on the earth in particular. And most importantly, that there's been no pesticides in the ground. So most importantly, yeah. And even the practices that we use are it's completely pesticide free. In fact, mainly with Young Living farms, we try and use traditional ploughing methods and not a lot of machinery, anything to keep the plant in its natural state as such. And there's lots of cool things about the standards. Testing is another big thing. Sometimes a batch can be tested over 100 times, and you will find that maybe sometimes oils are not available. And there is a big reason for that. It's because the batch is being tested and something hasn't passed a standard, so it will not make it into the bottle. Young Living prefer that the standard is adhered to, then everything be available all of the time. The other great thing is a gentleman, a scientist called Dr. Michael Bush, who's got a really mean moustache. You'd really like him. Bush is B-U-C-H. He's on Facebook. He's great. He's our chief scientist. And the other great thing is, other than our labs being state of the art, we get stuff tested third party. So it's better and it's good to have another seal of approval that isn't just your own testing methods as such. So that's a great thing to know.
It's amazing. Like before I did my oily journey, like I didn't just jump on because of Nevi. I was going to get some cheaper brands, and then I did a lot of research, and then I was like, oh, hang on a minute. Like those offcuts that we reject, then other oil companies actually just use them. So some of them are filled with synthetics and fillers, or, you know, they're made with pesticides and stuff like that. So, you know, 26 seconds and something soaks into your skin. And I know I don't want to be putting on an essential oil that's soaked in pesticides and stuff. I want to be using something that I know is really safe and therapeutic and natural. So they're amazing, high quality. Yeah, I'm very, very passionate about that.
Great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's an awesome way to put it. And because of those standards that we adhere to, there's literally never a product or an oil that you buy from Young Living that you know hasn't passed that rigorous strain of testing. We also, as a company, adhere to global sustainability standards, which is really critical, because it's all good to be talking about, you know, this and that, but literally everything we do is in alignment with a particular department at the company that deals with those kind of elements, sustainability, environmental. There's a lot of consideration about the environment in which we operate. So it's not just once again, it's purpose over profit. It's not all about making the money. There's a lot of consciousness dealing with how things are sourced and made. As far as the farms are concerned, we have around 21 altogether, all around the world. And like I said, 2 in Australia, South America, North America, we have some in Europe. The great things about the farms, which I briefly mentioned before, is the farming practices, in the sense of we try and use really traditional methods. We even ensure that when people are on the farms, their vibe is high. So anyone who doesn't love plants or could be off that day isn't asked to come onto the field as such, because we're so in tune with understanding that the plant is, you know, vibrating, and that we are then putting our vibration onto the plant, which I think is a really cool fact to know. Our farm in Canada, the Northern Lights farm, is completely off-grid. So there's a lot of consideration about the people that work there, but the community. And so there's always ways that the farm is in one way there, but also feeding back into the community around it. People with jobs, but also thinking about how to give back and not just, you know, take from the land as such. What else? Yeah, that's the main thing about the farms. So oils, as far as what you can do with them, there's diffusion, there's topical application. You can use them also for dietary, depending on which oil they are. We just also want to make something very clear. Everything in this video is talking about Young Living, and nothing is, so we cannot vouch for any other oil. So whatever we say, it is only about Young Living's therapeutic grade oils.
Because Young Living have a set of oils that are like culinary oils that you are allowed to the FDA approved, that we can use for cooking. So if we talk about a specific oil and talk about you actually taking it internally, and then as we mentioned before, some oils don't have those high standards and they can have, you know, some very toxic ingredients in it, you would not want to be consuming it. So don't be like, oh yeah, great lemon oil, I can, you know, add this to my guacamole like you can with the Young Living oil, and you could be potentially harming yourself. So just really make sure we are definitely just talking about Young Living specific oils. Tick.
Yeah, that's a good one to remember. Oils, we don't know if you know this, but they are the only sense that can bypass the mind into the limbic region and go straight to the subconscious. And it goes to a part of the brain, the limbic region, that is dealing with your emotions, your memories. So it is that powerful as a scent, let alone if you're ingesting, etc. But the scent alone is that powerful. There's a really great experiment that we like to talk about with the two 20-something males, where they did an experiment with coffee. So we're really interested in the conversation about frequency and vibration. And like I said before, people coming on the farms needing to be high vibe. Essential oils are some of the most high frequency products as such that there are in the world. So anywhere from around 32 megahertz to all the way up to over 300 for rose essential oil. They really range in a big gamut. Now this experiment we love. So there were two men in their mid-20s who were studied where they were holding a coffee and then drinking it, and their frequency dropped quite quickly. The exact measurement is they dropped from, within 3 seconds, from 58 megahertz to 52 megahertz within 3 seconds. One wasn't given the essential oil for a few days, and that's when his frequency went back up to normal. The other gentleman was given oil straight away, and it went back up in 21 seconds. Frequency is really critical when you understand energy, quantum physics, the fact that we're vibrating, thoughts vibrate, food vibrates, and the human body fluctuates anywhere between 62 to 78 megahertz. Your thoughts have a frequency. So a negative thought can lower it by around 10 megahertz. Meditation or prayer can actually raise it by around 15 megahertz. Now that's kind of getting into the nitty gritty of the megahertz and the frequency scale, but when you really get in tune with that everything is vibrating and there's energy in everything, it's kind of hard to bypass how easy it is to lift your frequency with the smelling of one single essential oil.
Literally, you can be feeling tired, flat, or even things like canned food is 0 megahertz, it really lowers your vibration. So, you're making your pasta sauce and you're having your tinned tomatoes, it really lowers your vibration. But you can lift it back up that easily with some essential oils.
When we're feeling flat and down, that I know there's feelings we say we have, but that can often be a lowering of a vibration. And in this critical time, this crazy time we're finding ourselves in, this amazing time, you want to get that frequency up to a very healthy level. Very easy to do. Okay, that's enough about Young Living and frequency and vibration. Any questions, we'll have them at the end. But what we wanted to do was show you what's actually in the premium starter kit and what it is that you get. So other than the 12 oils, and the orange oil, which is not here right now, but there's also orange, amazing. And then that's the 12 oils you get. The reason they're all usually the 5 ml ones, we don't just have the orange in a little ml, 5 ml. So we just wanted to show you. These small bottles have just over 100 drops of essential oil in them. So unlike us who goes through them quite quickly, these don't go off and could last you a year. Depends on how much you use them. And if you're using one...
They don't go off, they'll last you like 3 years if you don't use them all, but we use them all a lot. So you also get a thieves spray and a hand sanitizer. They're new additions to the kit, which is really cool. Like, seriously, this is my best friend at the moment. Like, anytime I leave the house, I'm like spraying my groceries before I put them back in my cupboard, spraying my keys, spraying my steering wheel. Like, very, very helpful at the moment.
One of the biggest, well, actually probably my best friend, to be fair.
Yeah, it's my best friend.
That's our second best friend. You also get a little thing called a roller filament, which all you do is you pop the top of your essential oil off and you put this on there so that it becomes like its own roller bottle, and that way you can just have it in the car if you want, or in your handbag. So it comes with one of those.
And some of these puppies.
The Ningxia Red is the most amazing antioxidant drink. That's just like a little sachet, and you have that. You can freeze it if you want into icy bowls. You can have it in a cocktail glass if you're inclined to want to drink at the moment. Have some Ningxia instead, but that comes in there as well. You also do get a product guide, an actual A4 brochure, and the price list as well. So that all comes in the kit. But depending on which diffuser you buy, we 100% know that these two diffusers, in a sense, are the most economical. So we'll talk about why we mean that. But this is called a dewdrop diffuser.
And this is the Desert Mist diffuser.
We really like the look of that one.
It's very pretty.
These two are the ones from last year. The new ones are even more amazing. They have more functionality, more lights, etc. So we're a bit jealous. So
and how many times does it vibrate?
I'll get to that off the top of my head, but it's millions per second because it's ultrasonic.
So I noticed a huge difference by, the cheap-ass eBay ones that I bought, which chew up way more electricity as well, but they don't vibrate and put as much, diffuse as much into the air. So these are way better diffusers.
Yeah, because I think that's the whole thing, isn't it? The ultrasonic, it's like, well, why would I bother just, let's just buy a normal diffuser, but you do notice the distillation that's coming out of it, it's really sharp, and there's a lot coming out. We'll go over a little bit more about that at the end. Now I don't think you said you had more than one oil, Amy, and I'm not sure if you do, but you're welcome to bring them out. We also wanted to give a shout out to Robbie Zek because she's amazing and her beautiful book has been a real gift. Belle's done work with Robbie before.
Yeah, I've done all of her aromatic kinesiology courses. She's amazing. I love her. And I use this book every single day of my life. And I know nearly all of it off by heart now because I've been using it for so many years. So a lot of the emotional support stuff and stuff come courtesy of Robbie.
It's a good book to get.
It's a very good book to get.
And also something we wanted to mention is today we're going to share our current swathe of tips and tricks, life hacks about how to use these oils, emotional, physical, spiritual support. We do need to share compliantly. There are ways we are able to share. Every oil company is the same. So we encourage you to go online and Google and look up your own ways to use them, other ideas people have had.
There's way many more tips and tricks and things that these beautiful, wonderful oils can do that we actually are not allowed to share compliantly. But Google is a good friend.
Yeah, go forth and Google. Okay, the first oil is orange. So orange is an amazing essential oil because it's one of the culinary ones Belle mentioned before. So we have around, delicious, literally like an orange peel. So this is cold pressed from the rind and you can really smell it. We have just 36. We have around 36 culinary oils. As Belle said, approved for consumption. So you can actually cook with them. Amazing to make salad dressings with, bliss balls, orange cake.
Oh, the orange bliss balls. Oh my God.
All the classics of bliss balls. It's the only thing I know how to make. So that's why I mention it all the time. Orange is an excellent scent to mix with others. So like for summer, for example, tangerine, putting it with lime is a lovely little mix, lime and lemon, a bit of orange. All those citrusy smells are so wonderful. It's a really good one to mix.
I love it with thieves, which we'll talk about later as well. Like that's a really good blend together. And orange is really good for prosperity and abundance and happiness and being really cheerful. It's amazing for lifting your mood.
It does instantly. When you smell it, you can't really be down.
Yeah, if you need luck and prosperity and all that kind of stuff in your life, like go nuts with the orange.
And Christmas is far away, but cinnamon bark and clove are lovely oils to mix with orange for a Christmas festive kind of smell. Oh, DIY air freshener. Now, many oils you can do this with, but orange is a cracker because of how strong it smells. So popping it just on some cotton balls in a bowl, in the toilet, around the house, in the bathroom, in the children's rooms, maybe near the kennel. I was just trying to think, where do the pets sleep? Just somewhere like that for a DIY air freshener. Super easy, super economical. And that's about it for orange. I think the biggest thing for orange is the fact you can ingest it. It's really delicious. You can even make ice bottles in summer with it.
Yeah.
Or ice blocks to put in your drink. Delicious. Okay, peace and calming. So as far as frequency is concerned, peace and calming vibrates at 105 megahertz, which is practically double what we vibrate at as human beings. It's pretty cool. It does. A bit of green. It's a bit hard to see, we know, but that's peace and calming. So it has a sweet blend of tangerine, orange, ylang-ylang, patchouli, and blue tansy. So when an oil doesn't have an actual name, like orange or lime, and it has a name like peace and calming, it means it's a blend of other oils that have been specifically put together to do what it says, which is make you feel peaceful and calm. That one's obvious. This one is so beautiful to diffuse when you're doing yoga or meditation. Wonderful to put on the bottom of your feet, you and the whole family, and lovely to add some carrier oil for even babies. I was just thinking about that before to let you know. It's really, really lovely, and to diffuse in their rooms. They love it. It's a very, very nurturing, calming smell for adults particularly, because I think we need it just more. Really good one to mix in with bath or shower gel as a base, but if you have a base, you need to make sure that it hasn't got any chemicals in it. So it's like a natural, no perfumed base, shower gel or shampoo and conditioner, but shower gel is definitely the best one for peace and calming. It's delicious. It's a really, really good way to spruce up your shower time. I was going to say repertoire, but the shower. But also I love that idea you mentioned last week about popping just a drop in the water as you're having like a shower, and then the smell wafts up. It's really nice. I guess emotion. Oh, dogs, pets love it. This is a big thing. Now, once again, we only can vouch for Young Living essential oils because some oils are toxic to cats in particular. So with pets, what we recommend if they don't want to smell it from your hand, or sometimes they love it, is to pop some in your palms and just pet them, pet through their fur. Peace and Calming's an excellent one for anyone that actually works with horses, where horses have been potentially, they've had a hard life and they need to transform a perception of something. So good for the rider and the horse to actually be wearing it together. And one thing to know about oils is all about intention. So if your intention is, and with the oil together, that is what will play out as such. So yeah, good thing to remember. Valor, V-A-L-O-R. Valor is an oil that vibrates at 47 megahertz.
Oh my God, it's like my all-time favourite.
It's honestly the best thing ever. So this one is tangerine, orange, ylang ylang, blue tansy, and patchouli. It is beautiful, and it is honestly my go-to when I've got a tough conversation, a speaking engagement, or a meeting I have to present at, for example. It really is about valor and courage. So it's very grounding, very, very, very good to have that kind of like the wind beneath your wings feeling when you're in a tricky situation.
There is literally not a client that comes into my clinic space that I do not put Valor on. There's an amazing process called a Valor balance. So if you're interested in that, let us know and we can shoot that through to you as well. But it does what it says. It actually balances your whole body system. It's really amazing. And like Nemi mentioned, very, very, very grounding. But yeah, for bringing that amazing courage to bring you to your highest potentials, like you feel like nothing's stopping you when you're using Valor.
Yeah, so good.
So special.
So good.
So special. And it smells insanely delicious.
So good. It's really also good for massage. So if you don't have something like the Young Living V6 vegetable oil, when we mentioned before about carrier oils, olive oil, fractionated coconut so that it's not stiff, or unless you want to warm it up a little bit, all of those are fine. Good for a massage. Be very calming, actually. I know this is meant, like it sounds strange, it's meant for courage, but it's also, because it's grounding, very calming.
Really great when you're, feeling stressed out. It really does like balance and calm and chill.
I feel calm just smelling it now.
Yeah.
And for men, I wear it as a perfume. We've been known to wear 1,000 things as perfumes. But for men, it's got a bit of like almost a masculinity to it as well. So good for cologne or aftershave.
Don't wear it careful when you're wearing white because it's blue.
Yes.
Very
so
blue.
That's a very big hint and tip we'll give you, which we might as well mention again now. It's got blue tansy. So you want to be careful about the colour because it can stain. Lavender. Now, we really do love lavender in the Young Living range, but lavender was that smell I was brought up with, like in the potpourri and stuff. So I was a bit like get that thing away from me. But the lavender from Young Living is just extraordinary.
It really is so different because I used to not be a lavender fan either because I don't like things that are too flowery. I'd be like, oh my God, saying Nana's potpourri. I don't like it. And then smelling this one, it really is so different to all the other lavender smells I've smelled throughout my life. And everyone that smells this one who's used it, another brand, notices such a difference.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And emotionally, it's just amazing. It's like, it's so nurturing. It's like you're giving yourself a big, beautiful hug.
Oh, yeah, that just makes me think completely. It reminds me of the lavender fields in France where some of our farms are, and just that thought of being amongst all that purple, beautiful lavender. It's an interesting one because you think it's like, oh yeah, lavender, but it vibrates at 118 megahertz. So it's a really powerful oil. The ones that vibrate into the higher realms are very much about emotional and spiritual support, and the lower ones are more around physical support.
Like that's double, pretty much what we are, double frequency. Lavender is amazing for third eye and crown chakra. It really helps to connect you to your intuition and your wisdom and universal consciousness. So really before about the nurturing. It really helps to bring in self-love, like the analogy I like to say about putting on your own life mask first. Like a lot of the time we're always doing things for other people and giving to other people, and lavender balances out that energy to be able to give to yourself first and love and nurture yourself. So it's very special, so it's totally underestimated.
Yeah, we've got so much for lavender. I'm just making sure that we don't forget to tell you. Great for after sun care, for soothing your skin. So pop it in with a carrier oil and then bathe yourself in it. It's very, very lovely. Bites, fantastic, fantastic. Popping it on a small cloth in your dryer. You can do that with quite a few oils clearly, but lavender has a beautiful scent. So pop it on a cloth, pop it in your dryer so your clothes have that delicious smell. Always good for a little massage experience, like maybe a head massage, so you feel like you're having an at-home spa experience, even at the moment. Your hair might look a little greasy, but it's totally worth it. It's really delightful going in through there, especially when someone else is doing the head massage for you. That would be nice. So lavender is really good for cleansing and soothing the skin, great for aging skin, and great for clearing up blemishes. So what the best thing to do is maybe add it to your nighttime cream, or just pop it with that carrier oil again and pop it on at nighttime, so it doesn't go too shiny in the daytime. And keep your carpet smelling fresh with it. So lavender is great to mix in with maybe some like baking soda. Pop it in, pop it on your carpets, allow it to sink in a little bit, and then you can vacuum it up. So very economical, very low, clearly extremely low tox, like no tox whatsoever in your home, to be able to do things that I think often we reach to the supermarket to go and buy. And you've got it all in that one kit. It's amazing. Peppermint is next. What can we say about peppermint? We might have said the other oils were our favourite, but this is surely up there with one of the favourites.
I said to Debbie one day, you could only have one essential oil in your whole life and that's it, what would it be? And mine was peppermint. Because it does so many things.
It's so amazing. The other hint and tip, I just realised, we forgot to say this before, but when you smell an essential oil, there's a few ways you can do it. One is in this method where you just allow it to get to the point where you're enjoying the smell, and then you can take it away. The other one is when you tip it into your hand, and then we tend to rub it a few times clockwise, cup it over your nose, and inhaling. That's beautiful. Of course, there's diffusion, but also there's something called the VitaFlex points. You can Google it, VitaFlex. They're around the outside of your ear. They're on the bottoms of your feet and the bottoms of your hand. When you know what section of your hand, the feet or parts of the ear, never inside, just on the outside, they are connected to different organs. So it's a really good thing to Google and find out for yourself where certain things on the body are. So often nice to put peppermint on behind your neck, but on your temples as well to relieve some tension. On your shoulders at the moment, if you're sitting at your desk too much and on Zooms all day, like I am. It's almost like having a mini masseuse in your pocket at the moment. It's gorgeous. Of course, as we mentioned with coffee before, this is the best aid to freshen your breath, but to bring your frequency back up. So guilt-free coffees, like have coffee, just ensure that you've got peppermint with you to have shortly after or however long you want after. And we tend to pop it on our hand and just give it a bit of a lick. We used to do this.
I'm still like, but I don't drink coffee. I gave it up last year. But in the 3 o'clock slump, when you need a bit of an energy boost, I just now do that. I have the lick of peppermint, and that gets me through all my clients for the evening. It's really amazing. Just gives you so much more focus and energy for the afternoon.
And why have I missed saying this, but chocolate. I mean, if you don't like peppermint and chocolate together, once again, maybe you should just, we said that before on the live. I was like, maybe you should just disconnect. But peppermint and chocolate recipes are delicious. Peppermint is another culinary oil, so you can cook with it and make recipes with it. It's really good for healthy snacks.
And emotionally also, as well as focus, it helps you to digest ideas, to digest life. So it's really good when, like in situations like what's going on in the world at the moment, when life is a little bit unpredictable and stuff like that, it really helps you to digest life, to digest ideas, and bring you to a place of really like loving and appreciating like what you have and what you do in your life.
It's perfect. It's amazing. And that 2 o'clock slump Belle mentioned, that can also happen in the traffic when that comes back, and we know it will. Good to have peppermint in the car with you in your handbag. It's not good to leave it in the sun or anything, but have it with you so you can pop it on, and that tiredness that tends to ensue when you're stuck in sometimes 2 hours worth of traffic on the freeway, like I am on the way home sometimes. Perfect best mate to have in your bag.
That's my best friend driving, because I haven't had my license for that long. So just for the extra focus, because I'm like this the whole time, like going down that freeway, but it's really just does make you so alert. Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
That's just, honestly, when you put it on your skin, you might feel a cooling effect. There's nothing wrong. It might even feel like burning to some people, but it's actually cooling. So it's actually cooling your skin down. And yes, when you ingest it, sometimes the face looks a little bit like this. That's internally how I'm feeling. But even after years of having peppermint, still can do that. Such a good thing, not turning to like coffee or chocolate in the afternoon and feeling like you've had a little bit of a party. Lemon is the next essential oil. Lemon is just punching above its weight flat out. Oh, goodness me. So good.
Spa for the brain.
Spa for the brain. I love it. Very economical floor cleaner is some lemon and some thieves. So I actually have thieves household cleaner. Like we have the cleaning product. So I pop in extra bits of lemon in there because that smell on the tiles afterwards, oh my God, it's fantastic. You just feel clean. But a really economical cleaner at the moment is the thieves that comes in the kit and the lemon with hot water. Beautiful.
And white vinegar.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Add white vinegar.
Add white vinegar.
Amazing. Very good for your skin and your hair. So good for teens, once again, helping with blemishes, and put that in their moisturizer. But you can also add it to your conditioner. So I buy a shampoo and conditioner that has no smells in it already and no chemicals, and I add oils to it. Every few months that changes depending on how I feel, but really good to help with glowing, shiny hair. So lemon's a good one. This might sound funny, but it's really good to remove adhesives. So you know when you get sticky stuff and you can't get it off? Amazing to remove that with, just like...
And whiteboard marker.
Why I started laughing. It sounds old school that we use a whiteboard, but we have workshops and whiteboards are good.
It's so impressive. Like we had this like black marker and I could not get it off for the life of me. And Nettie's like, use lemon. And I was like, yeah, okay. I can't believe how just quickly and easily, brand new, clean, so good.
No need to spray any Windex or anything.
I was literally with all my night scrubbing so hard. This black was not coming off. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's good. And it's so quick too. You don't have to use a lot of elbow grease. Because lemon's a culinary oil, fantastic to cook with marinades, in salads. Once again, bliss balls. Yeah. Bliss balls. Lemon and coconut bliss balls. Oh, delicious. So yummy. Good for rubbish bin freshening up. So once again with a baking soda, you mix it in, pop it on the bottom of the bin and leave it for, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then you can remove it or just leave it underneath the bag for a little while. And then that way that, the bin has a bit of a more refreshing. You should probably do that with the bins in the apartment. Come to think of it, I think they're going to just spruce up. What else? Oh, the Young Living website has some great diffuser blends for lemon. We really, like whether it's summertime pick-me-up or exam time. So yeah, there's some good ones actually on the website. You can look up.
And then emotionally, it's really, really great for if you're really confused about something. It really gives you like clarity and rational thinking. So, sometimes when we're stressed and you can be like quite reactive and you're just not thinking clearly about stuff, it actually like brings you to a place of actually being rational and calm and clear about things, so clearing confusion. And also it's really good for study and learning. Like when I said before, it's a spa for the brain, it really is. So if you're needing to write, create, study, anything like that, lemon is amazing. And lemon and peppermint together are a very good combo for that.
Yum.
Yeah.
Excellent. The next oil is frankincense. So frankincense is a whopper. It's 147 megahertz. It vibrates at that, which is phenomenal. This is another really good one actually to add to your daytime or nighttime lotion. It's great for highlighting your natural beauty, but also combating dry skin. And I have often quite dry skin, so frankincense is really handy for me. I really, really enjoy it. Great for meditation, like fantastic. So either pop it on your crown chakra or on your third eye chakra. It's a really beautiful spiritual oil, so wonderful for any kind of meditation. Very, very, very good for peaceful night's sleep. Now, frankincense to some of you might remind you of I'm Serbian Orthodox, and it smells like, used to smell like church to me. We're not very churchy, but the smell reminded me that, as we know, smells have memory, brings up memories, but I always loved it. It's just that that's the association I had. Now I think about frankincense in where it's actually harvested, which is a very beautiful part of near Oman in the Northern African Peninsula. And it's actually an area that not many people are even allowed to go, but Gary worked very closely with the beautiful people that live around there, and that's where we're able to take the resin from the trees to make frankincense. So we're very, very fortunate to have probably, an extremely beautiful frankincense, which, like Belle said before, have smelled other frankincenses, wherever they've come from, not quite the same.
And I think it's because it's an expensive oil, because like it's like more precious than gold. And if you want to Google, frankincense is one oil I would Google and go to, because it has so many magnificent, wonderful uses that it's very, very special. And because it is expensive, a lot of other companies actually do cut it down and dilute it a lot with fillers, so you're really having the purity of the oil. So you really notice such a difference, like you smell it and you can't really smell it, and this just has such a magnificent smell.
It's what Belle keeps mentioning, and it's so true. You get what you're paying for. So honestly, there's not really, it's a no-brainer for us, but just remember, you really are getting what you pay for. Frankincense, what else? It's amazing for wisdom and stability, cleansing the aura. So wonderful to put it through your aura.
Yeah.
Perhaps before meditation in the morning, however you want to do it. And increase spiritual awareness. Yes, mentioned that before. So the frankincense is a real beauty. Real beauty. Clearly been around for a long time.
And it brings in positive inner guidance. So because it is so spiritual and it connects you to, God, universe, source, to your higher self, it actually really does tune into your inner truth and brings, there's a real strength in that, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. We need that at the moment because we've just come off the back of the full moon last 2 nights ago, and all about revelations and revealing the truth. So it's a good time. What's next? Thieves. Thieves is an all-round champion of an oil, 150 megahertz. Thieves is also what comes in the Thieves spray and also the hand sanitizer. So Thieves literally has its own entire range of cleaning products, toothpaste, and then of course the essential oil. It's a good Oh my goodness, it's pretty powerful, the smell, if you've not smelt it before, and you do. So it has clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, radiata, and rosemary. Now the great thing about this blend is around the 15th century in France, there was a group of thieves, of robbers, who made a little concoction together, and they would go and rob the dead and the dying and take the jewelry, etc. But this similar blend was used back then, and they actually never got unwell. So Thieves is a fantastic, and it's pretty much the way it's said, it's like inspired from the tales of old. It's really cool. So Thieves has many, many, many uses, and definitely, like I said before, mopping. At the moment, Val said, we do not live without this spray in our handbag for the shopping trolleys, for the groceries.
In Bali, it's on the yoga mat.
Oh God, in Bali on the yoga mat. Val knows how much I don't like that smell. Good for the planes when you start traveling again. Public toilet seats, not that you sit on them by any means, but just, spraying in there. It's phenomenal. When this bottle runs out, you could, and but you're between orders or whatever it is, you can just take some Thieves and pop
some
it in
vodka,
there.
some witch hazel.
Not vodka, Thieves. You need to put the vodka in here with the Thieves, not drink it. That's not how it works. But we recommend around 10 to 15 drops. You go with it, but at least that's something to do in the meantime before you get another order.
And as I mentioned before, this in the diffuser with orange is sensational.
Such a good point, because at the moment, we're coming into winter. This is a fantastic oil to diffuse those ones together for the whole well-being of your family. So if you're diffusing it in a room where all the family are all the time, this is an excellent one to do in winter time and coming up to the colder months. Good all year round, particularly good at this time of year. Shopping trolleys, yes, we said that. Amazing. That's pretty much it for thieves. Yeah, so if you're interested in more about thieves, go online onto the Young Living website and you'll see there's tons of different products that have thieves in it. RC. So literally the letters R and C. This one vibrates at 75 megahertz. It's really crispy and refreshing, like lemony, the smell. Holy moly.
Oh, I just love it. I'm still addicted. Like every night when I go to sleep, I've been putting it on my chest.
It's just such a cute thing.
It's like so soothing and calming, and it was like it has that kind of like Vicks Vapor Rub feeling, but not burny, but just warm and comforting. It's because it's like quite cold now at night time.
Exactly.
I can almost like blow smoke in my room sometimes. So
I'm freezing. We are cold creatures, so we have heaters going on everywhere in our house. So it's cold, but it's exactly what Belle said, like a soothing Vicks like vapor rub situation, just the natural version. It has spruce, cypress, 3 kinds of eucalyptus, lavender, peppermint, and marjoram in it. So this is another blend. RC is one of the blends.
And like spruce and cypress are so grounding, and they're really for supporting you. They really, going through challenging times and stuff like that, they bring a lot of support and a lot of grounding. So they're very, very, very powerful oils. It's got eucalyptus in it, which is an amazing heart chakra oil. So it works with all of the organs and stuff within a heart chakra, breathing, fresh, happy lungs, all of that kind of stuff. Like it's really great for anything through that heart chakra.
I love that, happy lungs.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think about lungs. So happy lungs.
Peppermint, energy, focus. Like it's got really, really great blends in this little beauty.
It's a beauty. At old school, but back in the day, we I don't know what mum or dad would put in that bowl of hot water, and you'd have the towel, you're in the cold months to clear your nose and things. This is a wonderful one to do. Just remember to shut your eyes, because steaming hot water with an essential oil.
This is the one I was saying I love to do in the shower. Like if I'm a little bit unwell, you just do a drop, and with the steam of the shower comes up, and that's really refreshing.
Oh, so refreshing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're so good. So good. Such an easy way to integrate the oil into your life as you're going along without it needing to be too much hard work. It's really good. And what else? There was one other thing. Oh, car diffuser. Another good one at this time of the year to pop in your car diffuser. So there's circular little car diffusers you buy where you pop the oil inside it and you pop it in the vents of your car. Please never put some on a cotton bud and pop it into your vents. No matter how expensive your car is, I promise you those vents will melt, because they're usually plastic. So better to buy an actual car diffuser that just clicks in, and then you still get the benefits. I know, because my friend's done it to her very expensive car and she was gutted. She was gutted. Okay, Digees is another blend that we have. This one's a very powerful smell too. Tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, anise, fennel, patchouli, lemongrass. Fantastic to use after a heavy meal. Either diffuse it or use a carrier oil and rub it clockwise on your belly for some comfort. Really, really great one to have with you when you're traveling. I always find traveling disrupts the digestion system a little bit, different foods and things, and you feel heavy, like if you're not used to eating certain things. It's really nice to feel fresh and light after a heavy meal.
This is Bali best friend.
It's Bali best friend. It's a great way to describe it.
Indian food best friend.
It's awesome. But also, like I said, make sure to dilute it. This is quite a hot oil, I find, so when you're putting it on your skin, it's
very burny.
Yeah. Panaway. So Panaway is also another blend we have. This one vibrates at 112 megahertz.
Oh la la.
So it's peppermint, wintergreen, clove, and helichrysum. It's what we call like the problem solver when you have tensions. So excellent to have this maybe with your rollerball on top in your gym bag when we're ready to go back to the gym. But right now, pop some on your lower back before you do yoga or walking or sitting in the chair for too long. It's like the natural version of smelling wise of deep heat and
Tiger balm.
Yeah.
So you can use it in place of all of those things.
Much better way. Literally, you might smell it, and for me, it smells like Little Athletics from when we were younger, and I love that smell. So yeah, I can always love that smell.
That is the very, very first Young Living oil I ever got introduced to many years ago, and just fell so in love with it. That's what actually started my journey, was this little one.
And that's not a cheap oil. No. Like, it's really expensive. So to have it in the kit we'll get to how much the value of it is. It's really fantastic. Also good to rub on the bottom of your feet after a big day on your feet. It's really nice, very soothing.
I think it was in the tips for girls with high heels. When you wear high heels and you get sore feet, to rub it on things. Not my problem, because I always wear runners, but
those little footsies that squish.
I have put it down at a dance party once, and I made some people very happy. So
that's gold. Stress away. So I know this is one people tend to love. Stress away is your best friend when you're stuck in peak hour traffic. The great one to pop in your car diffuser for long road trips or on your way to work, just literally a stress-free, happy-go-lucky, carefree time. Clearly, it is fantastic at the moment where on a minute-by-minute basis, we're getting pushed with our thoughts and feelings, our expectations, what is needed of us. Stress Away could not be a more perfect oil to diffuse, to apply topically, to put in a bottle and spritz on your pillows at night time so you have beautiful dreams and a restful night's sleep. Fantastic for exam time. It's really, really good for anything that involves that peak feeling of stress, which is usually tends to be exam time. And like I said, every single minute, sometimes it feels like at the moment of what we're dealing with.
Now, this is another one that I use a lot in my clinic on my clients. It's really great for Reiki and any kind of energy work. It's really amazing. A lot of the time clients come in and they're a bit, so it really can just help just settle them just straight away as soon as they get in. So yeah, this and Valor, like best friend partners. I use them on most balances with people when they come in.
And Stress Away is like lavender, for example, fantastic to have a bath with. Epsom salt bath and putting in some Stress Away.
And it smells great on the clothes as well, because of that. It's got quite a vanilla-y flavour. So again, you've got to put it in the cloth, in your tumble dryer.
I love it. It's a really good one. This one used to come as like an extra. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's now part of the actual 12 oil kit of the premium starter kit. So it's really good. It's a chaotic time that we're finding ourselves in. So Stress Away does what it says. Easy. Good to have names that are logical sometimes. Don't have to think about it too much. So when we keep talking about value, the two diffusers that we showed you, like this one here, the Desert Mist and the Dewdrop, all together, Ballard worked it out that it's $696.70. $696.70 for all the oils, the sachets of Ningxia, etc.
No, I didn't even add the sachets in. I literally just added the products together. And I didn't even include that it's got the wholesale membership, which is usually $59, or the sachet. So literally just the oils and the diffuser, and those two added up to only $700.
That would then almost be close to $1,000. Close to. I can't vouch exactly for how much because it's off the top of my head, but that's probably at least another $100 worth or something. So it's amazing, which is really almost $800. But the actual cost of the premium starter kit is only with those two diffusers though, is $267. The gap is huge. Now, those oil diffusers are the most economical. That's why we like to show them, because, sometimes in the really cool diffusers, when you start to get into the Rainstone and the Aria that plays music and has a glass dome, that actually boosts up the price.
I've got that as well. I love diffusers. I've got that in my clinic room. It's very special.
It's beautiful to look at. So, that's all a choice, of course, but we like to present the most economical version because it tends to appeal to a lot more people. There's a bamboo diffuser that's a little bit more money. So there's quite a few diffusers that you can choose from as part of the premium starter kit. Now, Belle mentioned this earlier about the Desert Mist diffuser. So it's 1.7 million per second that it diffuses at. So that's what it's letting out of the actual, that one there, the pretty looking one. They all practically exactly the same, but that's what it's vibrating at. Now this one has Custom designed now to continuously work on high mode for 5 or 6 hours, or on low mode or an intermittent mode. It has 11 individual light settings now, which, I mean, you know, who doesn't want a bit of light options in your life? But that's how much better that diffuser has become. So we need to get our hands on the new one because it's heaps better than the version we have. Safety tips. We're almost coming to the end. So safety tips are really, really important. Each Young Living bottle will have the tips on there about how to use them. Always go onto the website, search for Stress Away, whatever the oil is, and the tips will come up there about how to use them. There's things like orange and lemon in that kit that are photosensitive, so it's recommended not to apply them and go directly out into the sun. Not so bad for this time of year, but when we get to summer, really make sure that you're stringent about that. We mentioned about the pets. We can vouch for only Young Living because some citrus oils are toxic to cats. You need to be very careful. The staining of the clothes, things like Valor that have the blue tansy in them, you don't want to drop it on you because it's quite difficult to get out, or on your carpet if you've got white carpet. Dilution is fantastic. So with a carrier oil, Young Living has something called V6 vegetable oil, but definitely just use olive oil or fractionated coconut oil as an option. Anything else in that? Oh yes, and the VitaFlex points just again. So VitaFlex points were the ones on the feet, the hands and around the ears, and remembering never to ever put an oil inside the eardrum, ever. Only place it can really go is on the outside and around the back of the ear. If you're a Young Living member or going to be, the best resource is the Young Living Australia website. It is fantastic. When you're a member, you can have access to the virtual office that has all the educational resources in it. Imagery you can use for your own social media, lots of content. It's fantastic. Anything, this is available to everybody. On the Young Living website, you can go into the area that has the history of oils, how to use them. That's available to everybody. Good way for people to just start to get to know about oils, I think, when they've got no idea.
And Pinterest is great.
Pinterest is amazing. So on the top of the Young Living website on the left-hand side are all the social media icons. Highly recommend getting on their Instagram, the Facebook, the Pinterest is wonderful, and the YouTube is exceptional. Short videos, how-to videos, ones about the farm. There's some ones from the Australian farms on there. Really how to use the diffusers even. Sometimes nobody wants to read instruction books about how to use a diffuser. Go and watch the video. It's really, really handy. Okay, anything else about the office? No. That's pretty much about it for that. So the big thing we wanted to remind everybody is go discover for yourself. Google those oils, build up a portfolio of knowledge, and yeah, always good to share with people around you about what you've discovered. You know, other people who use oils, they've always got good ideas, always good to poach other people's thoughts. Somebody's always come up with something genius to use the oils for that isn't what you'd normally expect. Of course, if you've got any questions, you can always email us, bellandnevi@yahoo.com, or on our social channels, it's just @SoulfulTribes on Facebook and Instagram. We like to post oils of information about oils on there and share blogs and all the juicy, fun information, DIY tips and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're welcome to get in touch after this, and thank you all for being here. It's really great to have you. And although we will say goodbye for now,